This is the new norm now. I have 3 or 4 cases like this now. People get intoxicated, they hit somebody on the road, and they leave.
Being drunk and leaving the scene. That may have been what Craig Perkins did after his car struck 21-year-old Kieran Smith. Perkins' sentence, 1 year in jail. But had he proven drunk, Perkins could have received a sentence of 10 to a maximum of 15 years.
People know that this is what the law is, and what they do is when they hit people, they leave them to die on the side of the road because it's 10 years or 1 year, and they all choose for the 1 year.
Kieran's family is one of 58 Suffolk County families who have lost loved ones to hit-and-run drivers in the past 3 years. Lindsay Benjamin fought for convicted felon Thomas Costa to receive the maximum sentence after he ran down her mother, Karen Benjamin.
I mean, right now I might look fine, but that doesn't mean inside that I'm feeling fine. I passed by my mom's neighborhood today, and it started like getting really anxious. So as long as, my mother's name doesn't die in vain and I can make a change, her memory is really important, and she would have done the same thing.
Current hit-and-run penalties carry a maximum sentence of 2 to 7 years behind bars. Suffolk County law enforcement say that a relatively light sentence actually rewards intoxicated drivers for leaving the scene of an accident.
Because that person has the opportunity to get to their house, sober up, get rid of their car or hide their car, or deny that they were the drivers.
Not everyone agrees. Defense attorney Mark Gann says it's wrong to give someone a harsher penalty based on only assumption that they left the scene because they were under the influence.
And I've had personal experiences with cases of people who have left the scene of accidents who have caused either serious physical injury or death, who were not intoxicated or impaired. And we know that they weren't intoxicated or impaired because they were caught shortly thereafter and tested to see whether they were intoxicated or impaired, and they were not.
Psychiatrist Lama Bazzi says that some drivers simply panic, and that leads them to flee.
The person hitting the car in front of them or hitting the pedestrian has a panic response at that moment, doesn't take a minute to stop and think it through, and runs and gets out of there. And after they flee, that's where they may think about it later and realize they'd made a mistake.
Legislation to raise hit-and-run penalties passes the Republican-controlled state Senate all the time, but not so in the Democrat-controlled state Assembly. Assembly Democrats last year finally managed to pass a watered-down version after the powerful speaker stepped down due to a corruption indictment.
I believe the former speaker, Sheldon Silver, was ideologically opposed to increasing penalties on anyone.
Democrats from New York City dominate the Assembly.
Unfortunately, a lot of the New York City delegation is about creating alternatives to incarceration, about rehabilitation programs. That's really a focus of theirs.
In the meantime, Harry Smith is losing patience.
The fact that the legislators allow this to happen day in and day out, I really think that it's just something that needs to be changed.
It's now up to the Senate to decide whether the Assembly's bill is strong enough. Reporting from Lindenhurst, I'm Jessica Suarez.